who was a 68-year-old retired Marine who was killed on November 19th of last year in White Plains. He was killed when he accidentally set off his medical alert pendant. The police broke down his door, hurled racial epithets at him, tasered him, shot him in beanbags, and then shot him twice in the chest. The grand jury recently decided not to indict any of the police officers in this case, and this shooting has sparked public outrage all across the country. Just to give one example, in an appearance of Kenneth's on the show Democracy Now!, the daily news program, signatures on a petition calling for justice for his father went from 1,000 to 75,000 signatures. Today, the Chamberlin family has successfully forced the U.S. Department of Justice to investigate Mr. Chamberlin's death for civil and criminal violations. Please welcome
on November 19th, I'll never forget it. It's a Saturday morning, and I'm always up. I work out early in the morning. And my phone rang about 5-something in the morning. And it was a friend of mine calling me, and he said to me, I think you need to come out here to White Plains. I asked him why, what's the problem? He said, police at your father's door, they're banging on your father's door. I said, banging on my father's door for what? He said, I don't know, but you need to get out here right away. And all of a sudden, he just yelled out, oh my God. I asked him what happened. He said, I think the police shot your father. So immediately, I dropped the phone, threw some clothes on, and just took off to White Plains. Now, mind you, I'm 5 minutes away. When I got there, police officers had already put up yellow tape. When I presented my ID to one of the police officers, and he asked me, could he help me? And I said, yeah, did you just kill my father? And he took my ID and he walked inside the building. Another officer came out with my ID and said, you need to go to the hospital. So I didn't want to stand there and debate with him at that time, so I went to the hospital. And when I got there, they put me in a room, and the doctor comes out and says to me, Mr. Chamberlin, I'm sorry, but your father's expired. So I kind of looked at him, and I asked him, can I see my dad? The nurse said no, but the doctor told her, move out of the way, he wants to see his father. I'm taking him to see his father. We went to the operating room. I saw my dad, eyes wide open, his tongue hanging out of his mouth. You could see a bullet hole in his chest. I asked him, I said, somebody needs to explain something to me, because I want to know what's going on. And the manner in which I was treated in that hospital at that time, I honestly couldn't believe it. One of the nurses told me, well, you're not going to get anything talking to us like that. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't yell, I didn't scream. So I didn't know why they were saying that. turned around at that point, and yeah, I did raise my voice, and I asked him, what did you say? And then a police officer walks up on me, and his exact words were, shut the F up.
Shut the fuck up.
And I said, well, he said, I'll lock you up right now. So I walked outside. When I walked outside, they followed behind me. So now I felt threatened, so I turned back around. And as I started to walk back towards them, my cousin grabbed me and she said, please don't, they'll kill you too. I told her at that point, I said, I'm kidding. I said, they just killed my father. I said, so that's what they're going to have to do. I'm not saying that that's right. That's what I was feeling at that time. To make a long story short, the lieutenants and captains arrived and calmed the situation down. And I asked what happened. Apparently, my father triggered his life event. I have it with me, I keep it. And something that he wore around his neck. My sister had a hard time with this because she was the one that told my father to get this, to save his life if we weren't there. So she has a hard time coping with it, but I try to console her, but I guess they all look at me, and as long as they see me staying strong, the rest of the family stays strong. I've told people, and I've said it over and over again, and some people say it's not healthy, but I said I refused to mourn until I got justice for my father. Now, immediately after them shooting my father, the commissioner of public safety in White Plains, New York, David Chong, went and held a press conference. And without conducting an investigation, said the deadly physical force was warranted. He said they used a taser and it had no effect. He said they used a beanbag shotgun and it had no effect. And that they were forced to use deadly physical force. Now, my father couldn't walk from here to that front row without wheezing. So, I don't understand how that's possible. But I still didn't want to point fingers. I didn't want to blame anybody. I didn't want to say that my father was 100% correct and that the police were 100% wrong. So I sat and I waited until they permitted me to view video and listen to audio. Once we did that, you hear from the very beginning, you hear taunting, you hear them making fun of my father's military service, you hear them using expletives, and you hear racial slurs. And someone asked me, do you feel that it's racially motivated? I said, well, if I called you a racial slur right now, what would you think? Of course, you already know that the DA promised a full and fair investigation surrounding the events of my father's death. And it's my belief, in my opinion, that if she did in fact do that, then there would have been an indictment. Because from the beginning, you hear misconduct, you hear negligence, and ultimately murder. So, I have to wonder, what did she present to the grand jury? Did you only put a second-degree murder charge on the table? Because you cannot really prove that a police officer woke up in the morning and said, I'm going to kill someone. So it's really a hard charge to really charge an officer with. But they would surely could have charged them manslaughter, criminal negligence, homicide, and at minimum, police misconduct. Now, had I gone out there, used a racial slur, shot and killed someone, I wouldn't have went to the grand jury. I'd have been indicted on felony complaint. Then they'd have had the grand jury proceeding and said that yes, you are going to be tried. a difference because a police officer did it. This is what I'm not understanding. Janet DeFiore is the Westchester County DA. She is also been appointed chairwoman of the Joint People's Commission on Ethics by Governor Cuomo. That's a joke. Yes. So I don't understand that. Now she's also been in the paper because they said that she's used her political influence to get her maid welfare benefits. Wow. Now I know nobody's perfect, and I don't point fingers at people. You know, and because someone once said to me, and I said that I'm not perfect, they said it's not what you've done, it's what you're doing now. So, at that same sense, I'm saying to myself, well, Janet, if you're using your political influence to sway a decision, either way, for good reason or bad reason, you violated the trust of the people and something that you swore to uphold. So, she has to go. That's number one. She has to go. Incidents in Westchester County are questionable police shootings, and there has not been one indictment from Detective Ridley to the college student DJ Henry, who they gave that officer of the year, to my father. I mean, the list goes on. They claim that the Human Rights Commission in Westchester County has mechanisms in place to deal with situations like this. I challenge anybody in here to go on their website and see if you can find it. And if you do, please contact me and let me know. Because I looked and I didn't see it. Janet DeFiore said that the use of the N-word was used as a tactic to distract my father. She says she did not condone it, but at the same time, by saying that, she's justifying it. So obviously, she must think that not only is my family stupid, but she thinks everybody else is foolish. She just does not believe, you know, what's going on. It's in the hands of the Department of Justice. When they came back with the indictment, we sent an email to the Department of Justice as well as a hard copy. And 4 hours after they came back with the indictment on the state level, the Department of Justice said that they're going to investigate the death of our father, which made me happy in that respect. But we have to, I told them I'm not only going to indict, I'm going to convict you. So, Mr. Kennedy did hear me, but he asked me not to really speak about the conversation that we had on Wednesday and to allow them to do their job, and that's what I'm going to do. And I hope and I pray that they come back with an indictment. It's very evident that police misconduct, brutality, and criminality, as I said before, is a pandemic. It's all over the world. It's happening all over the place. In Westchester County in particular, especially in White Plains, they do not want that city to be known as a city of hate. But you have a unit within the police department called the Neighborhood Conditions Unit that all of the individuals that were involved in the death of my father, most of them have charges against them right now in federal court. You have one that improperly used a taser. You had another one that beat 2 Jordanian individuals and called them ragheads as they were beating. You have a couple of other situations going on out there as well, and they all seem to be a part of this unit. The police officer's name who shot and killed my father, his name is Anthony Carrello. The officer that allegedly used the N-word, his name is Officer Hart. These officers are still on duty. No disciplinary actions internally or anything as far as I know. It took 5 months before the mayor of White Plains even gave my family condolences. Elected officials didn't speak up except for Susie Oppenheim in the beginning and Yana Edwards, a councilman from Mount Vernon. So, as far as these elected officials go, I mean, I told people, no, I don't plan on running for office, but I'm definitely going to do everything in my power to make sure you're not in there. I'm going to end, but I will say in White Plains, I want to thank all of you for your support, and I'm not ashamed to say or ask for it, but I definitely need your help in White Plains. You have people out there. I have a handful of people that are supporting me, but not as many people as I would like. I don't know if it's fear, of retaliation or anything like that from law enforcement out there, but I said to someone the other day, I said, I don't fear anyone but God. So if you're not sweet seeds or the blood, I'm not worried about it. So you can do whatever you want to do, because I'm going to be there regardless. I always tell people, if no one else is there, one person will be there, and that's me. But I do need you, you guys, I need your help. I really do. So if you're not on my Facebook page, I have a page, Justice for Kenneth Chamberlin Sr. Please request to be on it, because it's the best way that I can keep people updated about what's going on, about press conferences. We should be having a press conference hopefully this week where we actually will be filing a lawsuit against the city now. Not that that's going to bring my father back, and that's something that I've had to speak to them about as well. I've had them always try to imply that we're anti-law enforcement, that we're just out for a quick buck. But if you put a bunch of money in front of me right now and say you can either have this or your father back, I know what I'll do, and I want my dad back. Mornings are very, very hard for me, and you never really realize how much you miss somebody or need them until they're not there. You can't pick up the phone and call, and subconsciously I grab my phone all the time to say, let me call my dad. I haven't talked to him in a while, but I can't. And it hurts, and a lot of times it does get a little overwhelming for me, and I know it's because I won't take time out to more. But again, please go on the Facebook page, Justice for Kenneth Chamberlin Sr. Request to be on it. I will accept you, and I'll keep you updated on everything that's happening with my father, with the case, and hopefully we will get that indictment. We'll get that conviction, and there will be justice for not only for my father, but for other people as well. And I do say this, when the dust is cleared with my father's situation, I'm not stopping. I'm still there because I know